and begin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as a warm-up to our African-American history poster project, we are going to do a 2-day assignment where we will create a collage of an African mask. In today's lesson in Canvas, there is a link to images of African masks. I'd like you to spend at least a half of today just exploring the images until you find one that you really like. And then what you're going to do is take a full sheet of construction paper and a half sheet of construction paper. You can move the camera around as needed, depending on what I'm looking at. And on the half sheet of construction paper, you are going to draw half of the mask. And so I've already made this one. I have not glued it down yet. But, and you're gonna get the basic shapes. This is different now. The more complicated you make it, the more interesting the drawing will be. And so I've drawn the basic shapes. And then what I'm going to do is cut them out on those lines that I've drawn. And then I'm going to flip them over. So as you can see, the only thing I'm actually making is half of a mask. I'm only drawing half of a mask. As you can see, as I take that one apart that I just made, and I'm putting it back together like a puzzle, you can see is that right? I think so. It's only half of that mask. I am then going to place it on the full sheet of paper with each side being the opposite. And you may have to go back in as you work this and cut different shapes out to make sure that you don't have two of the same color right next to each other. And that's what happened here with the lips. I realized that if I wanted the lips to be a different color, then I would have to change the color of the chin. Otherwise, it would be right next to each other. But when I did that, I realized, well, if the color of the chin changes, now I'm gonna have to cut the background. So I had to make a cut in the background for where the chin made contact with the rest of the face. And so once I have it laid out, I'm going to glue it down with glue stick. And once it's glued nicely and dried, then I can go back in and carefully erase these pencil lines that I used. And then when it's done, it'll be a nice, clean, finished product. Now, this is a very simple example. I want you to spend a good day and a half on this. So I would like you to make yours more complex. I would like you to have a lot more detail in it. And then, once it's done, if you want to get a little creative and maybe go in with a fine marker or colored pencils and just kind of sweeten it up a little bit, then I'd say go for it. It's art. So it's not like it's a math equation and once it's done, it's done. It's art. And if you think you can make it more beautiful, then go for it. All right. Thank you very much for your time.